If you're doing any of the 5 things I'm about to list, then there's some other dude out there competing with you, doing better than you, and is eventually going to steal your future wife from you. I've created this list of things that I personally have struggled with the most and think that it would be best to share in order to help you guys and help myself grow as well. I am human and I'm not perfect, so I do struggle with these things still, not maybe as bad as I used to. These things have been a problem, and I know if they're a problem for me, they've got to be a problem for some people watching, and I want to make them known. If we know what the problems are, then we can really focus down on them and get them in, like, we can find a solution for them so much easier. So that is what we're going to be doing today. Most people lead a life of just mindlessness, and that's just not who we are. If you watch me, if you've watched my videos before, you know that is not who we are. We like to be present, intentional, and we want to live life to the fullest and just reach our max potential. And as long as we're doing any of these mistakes, then we're not going to reach that potential. So the very first thing that personally, this is what I struggle with the most out of anything: staying up late and oversleeping. And obviously, if you stay up late, you're going to oversleep. By the end of the night, you should be in bed, laying down, trying to sleep. The only thing you could really do up so late is waste energy, because you're either texting people, playing games. You shouldn't really be doing work that late, because by the time you're home and like in bed, you should be winding down, relaxing your brain for tomorrow's work, because that's what's more important. You're gonna wake up, you're supposed to wake up early, get the work done, and then obviously you can't wake up early if you're staying up till 12, waking up at 11. That is not how it works at all. So don't stay up late. And I'm telling you this because I've struggled with that a lot. I'm a person who wants more than anything to wake up early. And if I stay up late texting, that's usually what it is. I'm texting because I'm just trying to get some social. It's not worth it. Go to sleep on time, bro. It's gonna make you feel so much better when you wake up and you feel like you haven't wasted the day. That regret of waking up 4 hours before you have to go to work, it's wasting your time, wasting your potential. Stop doing that. This second mistake, and that is living by feeling or wants. Living by feeling or wants is a way of living by instant gratification, and that is the opposite of what we would want as someone who wants to have a very disciplined mind and very disciplined lifestyle. Because if you're living every day doing things according to how you're feeling, then you're not going to work, you're not going to eat right, you're not going to go to the gym, and you're not going to do anything which you've told yourself the previous day that you're going to do, because you're so much more worried about feeling happy and comfortable. And how does that make you a better person at all, in any way possible? Because if you wake up late and you decide, oh, since I've woken up late, I don't really have to do anything, I've already wasted the day, so I'm just gonna relax, start tomorrow. But the competition who wants the same thing as you got up at 5, worked on things they wanted to work on, got them out of the way, went to the gym, and meditated and read all before you woke up. That's freaking crazy, because they could do that in 6 hours while you've been sleeping, wasting the day, doing completely nothing. And honestly, you should hate yourself for letting this time go by where you're just wasting it completely. If you're doing this stuff, living by feeling, you are Jeffrey, and you're a puss, dude. You can't live like that. It's no progression. There's no results in that. Because if you're not working, if you're not doing anything according to what you need, and it's putting decisions towards your goal, then how are you going to get anywhere close to your goal at all? It's not going to happen. You need to work hard, and I'm going to tell you exactly how to do that. I've told you guys this before, but setting a routine is going to be the most efficient way of taking control of your time and doing things that you want to do. You've got, I'll put it here again, but you've got to have blocks of time you have laid out where you have like specifically told yourself you're gonna work here, you're gonna read here, you're gonna go to the gym in this time, you're gonna sprint, meditate, whatever, eat, all of that stuff. And if you can stick to that routine every day, this goes for sleeping, living by feeling or want, it's gonna make you the most disciplined person you've ever been. If you've got time allotted for productive things, you're not gonna go and do the unproductive, self-gratifying, instant gratification things that you would normally do, and we want to cut that out completely. We don't want to do that. So make a routine and live by that as closely as possible. I know life will change day to day. As a person, you've got to grow and like come up with solutions to that. You just gotta work around that, because life isn't easy. You've got to put in some effort and intentionality into your routine. Try and allot the time if you can, but you've got to stick to it as much as possible, because if you're not, you're wasting time doing things you shouldn't be doing. Make the routine, stick to it 1000%, because if you can do that for a day, that is one of the most perfect days you'll have. You'll be super proud of yourself, super happy. Make sure you do that. The third mistake would be not talking to girls or being social in general. I'm assuming that if you're watching this, you're most likely a dude, and you've got to be approaching girls and talking to people and building social connections, because it's like a drug for humans. We don't get it as much as we used to anymore, because we're so committed and relying on technology and talking to people through there that we don't have real physical conversations with people, and that is some of the most important conversations you'll ever have. Some of the most fulfilling, some of the most best feeling. And I can say this confidently because I have so much more fun and like pleasure talking to someone in person, especially a girl that I find attractive, right? So why would you not take advantage of that as much as possible? Why would you sit in your room texting people that you don't even really want to text or talk to, just because it gives you some social validation? Because not only does it distract you like earlier, if it's just a feeling of want. It's like, oh, my phone buzzed, I can text this person back, they've been thinking of me. So what? You don't really need that. You need to be out there talking like a normal human, so that when you actually do have to talk to people, you're not just like in the corner, just stuttering because you don't talk to people in person, bro. Like, come on. Have some intentionality and talk to people. People like to be talked to. People like being complimented. You just have to break the ice in a really simple way in order to start conversation. I'll give you a quick example. You are outside, super hot day, and you walk into a store now and you're in an elevator with a couple other people, and it's just completely dead silent. No one really knows what to say because they don't want to be the first to break the ice. It's kind of uncomfortable, but as someone who's on self-improvement, who really wants to be powerful and like charismatic, you're gonna break that ice. You're gonna go, man, it's really hot outside. Thank goodness there's AC in here, right guys? Or something like that. And then everyone just goes, oh, thank goodness this guy broke the ice. Now I can talk and have a conversation, and you can have a nice little conversation in the elevator before you'll have to get out. And it's just so much better to talk to people. There's so much like pleasure in it, because it's like a drug of, yeah, just happy feelings when you get to talk to people and interact with them. If you want to be a magnetic person, you've got to be like happy and upbeat. Like, I'm gonna say it again because it's gonna get repetitive. Like, wow, it's freaking hot outside. Thank goodness there's AC in here. And it sounds so much better than like super mellow, like you're struggling to get it out, right? It's just gotta have some intentionality behind it. You gotta be warm. People love that. People love talking, but they don't like starting the conversation because they're a bunch of weak people anyways. And that's not you. If you're watching this video, you don't want to be weak. The next mistake you're making is you're not going out and doing fun things with your friends or even by yourself. You're probably living like a really boring life, to be honest. Like, just for going to a bigger city and like shopping with friends and going on a hike with friends, swimming like in a reservoir or something like that. That's a good story compared to I've been in my room for 12 hours the last like week. Which would you rather have? Hanging out with friends, going swimming and cliff jumping, or working every day in a dark room? Which would you rather tell a girl? Let's be honest. You're gonna want to tell the fun stories, right? Do things that are fun for you, try new things, because the more stories you have, the more interesting you are, and the more you can talk about. And then the final thing we've got, which is one of the biggest things, is hanging around degeneracy. You don't want to be a part of degeneracy, which is drugs, partying, hookup culture, stuff like that. Because all of that in itself is living by feelings and wants, and that is instant gratification. And it might be good to get some experience with women that way, but even then, those women won't be high quality, those friends won't be high quality. It's not gonna help your self-improvement journey, so in all sincerity, just stay away from it. Because you can go out with your friends every once in a while and just have a good time, but the moment you start indulging in all these drugs and alcohol, that is an awful thing that probably you won't even really be happy with. It's mostly due to peer pressure, and we don't really want people around us that are telling us to do things that we don't want to do or will harm us in our health. Because the main things that are important to us, or should be important to you, is your health and your progress towards your goals. Being a degenerate it's not gonna be fulfilling, because it's going back to living by your wants and your feelings. It's instant gratification. There's no purpose behind that, unless your purpose in life is to literally do drugs and have sex with women you don't even remember their name of. That's not a fulfilling life for me personally. If that's what you want to do, you're on the wrong channel. I recommend finding someone else. Just try to stay away from people you know aren't going to help you become a better person. Your future self will thank you for this, because if you're hanging around people right now that might be harming your mental health, it will only get harder. It's not going to get easier. Why would it? Why would doing more drugs and partying more and drinking more help you reach your goal of making a business and like influencing and helping people? They're on completely different ends of the spectrum. One is self-improvement, one is degeneracy. They don't mix. You can't have both. Let's revise and summarize all of the mistakes again. Staying up late, oversleeping, don't do that. Living by your feelings/wants, and to fix these two easily, live by like a routine, like a military routine that's all about discipline and doing productive things. Third thing that you're not doing, well, the mistake you're not doing is you're not talking to enough girls, enough people, building your social like bar, like charisma, interactions, close relationships. You need those. Make sure you're doing it. Just go out, talk to people, go out with friends, meet people. Fourth thing is you're not going out and doing fun things to make fun stories and interesting things to talk about. And just, this is another thing about that. Living an interesting life is gonna attract people to you, like women especially. If you're every weekend you're going out and doing something fun, why would a woman not want to be part of that? Just think about that real quick. And the final thing is hanging around degenerates, because it doesn't serve us, it doesn't build us up. It's self-gratification, not helpful at all. And those are the 5 biggest mistakes you need to be wary of as a teenager or a young man. Thank you so much for watching. Love you guys. Do the hard work. Welcome to the cult.